Hello, I have with me Steve Walton, who describes himself as a comedy writer. Is that right, Steve?
That is right, yes.
So you do sketches, plays, poetry. What kind of subject matter do you cover?
Anything that comes to my mind, really, that I feel like I'd be able to do well with. But really, I usually feel that I could make any situation funny, really.
Right, so what's your inspiration for what you write?
I've always enjoyed watching comedy, and it's just a natural inspiration, I think, really. I've just, as I said, I very much enjoy doing it, so it gives me a lot of pleasure.
It's not your full-time job then? You don't make a living as a poet?
No, it's not.
Or a comedy writer?
I wish it was, but who knows what might materialise in the future.
Right, so you talk about serialisation, so how do you get this material out there? How are you publishing?
I've got two comedy poetry books on Kindle, Kindle Direct Publishing through Amazon. One is called Saturday Plight Fever, and the second one is called No I'm Alone.
These sound like entertaining titles.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I thought they were appropriate and they sound okay.
So how many have you written?
By the way, they're the title, name of two of the poems, actually. They're the book titles. I've written 23 altogether.
Over what sort of period of time?
Well, I started writing in 2008, but I got better with my techniques of writing. So, that's where I'm at now. I feel like I've got there now to the level that I require and that other people would hopefully enjoy.
So what kind of subject matter do you use? Do you take as inspiration? Is it normal everyday events, things that you kind of stumble across?
Very often, yes.
You go around
very often, yes. It is normal everyday events, really, a lot of the time.
And do these ideas come to you in the bath?
Yeah, I could be anywhere. I literally could be anywhere. Like funny things come to my mind as well, so I quickly have to go and write them down.
Right. And on the sketch writing front, I mean, you've written a number of pieces.
Yeah, I've written a lot because I started in 2002, but I've been writing some this year, and I really feel like I've got to the level that I'd really like to see them performed on TV or on stage. I'd just love to see them performed by good enough actors who can make them really.
So you're happy to enjoy this hobby, this pursuit, and if it goes further and it gets performed, then you'd be a happy guy.
I would definitely, yes.
Right.
I would definitely.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be great to hear a couple of your poems, so perhaps you'd like to introduce them to us.
Yeah, okay. The first one is called I've Been Round the Milky Way. It's about a milkman talking about his milk round. I actually adapted it for doing this, but when I actually wrote the poem, it was actually on his milk round. But I just thought, as I'm sitting here performing it, I've reworded it slightly so he's talking about his milk round when he does it.
Good, let's hear it then.
Okay. Delivering milk is what I do to the likes of me and you. I suppose we are a dying breed, yet those housewives have the need. Bacon, eggs, we sell the lot. All that walking makes me hot. Not to mention one, of course, who does me breakfast with some sauce. Twice a week she alls her pan, knowing I'll be a hungry man, and as the eggs are paid by me, her range is always nice and free. There's one who jumps her horse all day, her large rear gets in the way. With me whipping she did mock, but I'd rather beat the clock. Over poles she does jump, on that horse she's quite a lump. But despite her extra pounds, she once showed me 2 clear rounds. Another lady leaves a note, and she'd always get my vote. Very often I do dream about her use of all that cream. A word she wrote was legislate, and she's now a magistrate. And now that policeman lives next door, she's more familiar with the law. One morning they were not asleep, he gave her info on the cheap, but I'd say to be exact, it wasn't quite a traffic act. To a farm I have to go, the farmer's wife I've got to know. Once her husband made a stand, when she offered me a hand. We were in the milking shed with the ploughman Joe and Fred, and now I've seen her weekly yield, she's the leader in the field. That magistrate left a note, so I neatly parked my float. As her writing it did state, her cream was nearly out of date.
Well done.
Okay.
Well, certainly tickled my funny bone anyway. I think there's quite potentially some good panto lines in there as well.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that.
Subtle innuendos, quite charming.
That is actually something I would like to try and look into. I would love to be given a chance to be given some panto scripts.
Right.
And make some make it more humorous.
Okay.
I understand, I think, because I think, Jim Davidson and people have done that sort of thing in the past without me seeing them actually being performed. But
Right.
I haven't been to a pantomime for a long time, but whenever I had, I mean, they're nice, bright, cheerful, occasions and they're
Yes.
fun.
Yes.
But when I look back
I
now,
suppose it's
I
all-
think I could have added, I'd like to be able to add just the odd little bit funny bit in there just to make the audience
I suppose
laugh.
there's also the possibility of going to festivals and events and
Yes.
doing a one-man show, isn't there?
Correct, yeah, that's true.
Is that
Yeah.
something you might look into, do you think?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
All good inspiration.
Excuse me.
Yeah, but while we're on the breakfast and the milk thing and all the rest of it, I think you've got a poem about porridge, but porridge in a
I've
different sense.
I've done a few different comedy programs based on the characters. I've actually got one of Open All Arts that I haven't got published, but I like that. That's quite good.
And of course, talking about porridge TV series based on prison. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Ronnie Barker, actually.
Yeah.
The two Ronnies, but there's a whole list of past comedy.
Well, do you want to run it past
Yeah,
us then?
sure. But, whilst I'm here, known as Fletch, doing another lengthy stretch, the milkman with his uniform creased will leave an extra pint at least. A common thief I may be, but I show care, you see. At night I burgle like the best, so I don't disturb their rest. God was wet behind the ears, he's still got 2 more years. He has a fear of bars and locks, but wait until he darns my socks. Lukewarm is hot when cooking food, but with bananas can be rude. His custard seems to go a long way, and stirs it with I could not say. Barraclough I've met before, speaks his mind when he's unsure. His marriage is strange, I can tell. Last night he slept inside my cell. Gravey's heard I'm brewing wine, I'll take that as a warning sign. Last time I gave away the proof, Hislop sung up on the roof. It seems Mackay is on the case, his preference is a whiskey lace. Where's this wine, he said to me, but I'd rather give him punch, you see. You're wrong, Mackay, I have no drink. Since Hislop sung, it made me think. And with threats from the Overlord, Ives is running this new board. But his story really stunk, saying the wine was in my bunk. Barraclough knows I've done no wrong, he was here singing all night long.
Very good. Well, I hope our viewers enjoy those as much as I did. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
That was terrific, and I wish you every success.
Thanks very much.